fan bases from all over the world, showing up in strength despite some of the difficulties. And of course, there have been, visa issues and that kind of stuff and processing issues. But once the tournament gets started, once the teams start playing and you get upsets and you get some of the minnows playing well, you can just see the excitement growing and growing and growing, and it's fun to watch.
What they were able to do back in '94, how would you compare this team to them?
Oh, it's totally different. As you guys know, I mean, we're talking about so many talented individual players playing in some of the biggest clubs and best leagues around the world. The question wasn't going to be whether really this is the most talented team ever assembled for the USMNT. I think that was clear. It was whether they would gel, whether Mauricio Pochettino's strategies would work. And certainly the proof of concept we've seen in the first couple of games is this is more than anyone could have even hoped for. The most optimistic USMNT fans and observers didn't think they would dominate the way they dominated against Paraguay. And then again, a strong performance against Australia to secure a spot in the knockout stage and ultimately to win the group. This is all going about as well as it can be going, especially when you consider that the U.S.'s best player has only played one of the four halves. So, it's a little bit surreal, right? As somebody who's been watching the USMNT for 36, 37 years pretty consistently, we're not accustomed to feeling this way. Consecutive multi-goal wins at the World Cup. They hadn't won a game at the World Cup by more than a single goal in 24 years. So I'm still kind of adjusting myself to this new reality, and I think a lot of people are.
24 years, that just happens to be my age. Just kidding. But Ale, we just had a look at that graphic there.
Not mine.
We just had a look at that graphic there, and now the USA as well know where they'll be playing. At least they will be West Coast based up until and if they make a semifinal, when then things move to either Texas and then, of course, to the East Coast, to New Jersey and New York. So this could be a very ideal path. How far do you think they can go?
Well, it's ideal right now. It's ideal in the sense that you already won the group, and so therefore it allows Mauricio Pochettino to set his team up for success, knowing full well that the game against Turkey to close out the group is a glorified training session. And so you can rotate the team. You can give minutes to other players. You can make a decision about Christian Pulisic and what his status is. If he's not close to 100% fitness, or if he's not ready to go, you don't play him, you don't take a risk. But if he is fit and the medical staff tells you, you know what, he is ready to go, give him 15, 20 minutes at the end of the match so that he can get some competitive minutes, so he can get competitive touches. Because if you do the math, and Jeremy just mentioned there, if you project forward and you're looking into the round of 32 and you do the math, Christian Pulisic, his first game would have been 2.5 weeks away from that knockout match. Yeah, you go backwards and then you go forwards, and you don't want your star to be out and missing out on activity, out on the field, competitive touches for 2.5 weeks. And so therefore, if he is fit and he is ready to go, give him a few minutes against Turkey. Again, this is the flexibility that you have earned because of performance on the field, and now it's up to Mauricio Pochettino to see how he deals with what is a very successful event so far.
So far. All right. Well, what we have seen from the USA so far, Jeremy, has been very impressive, which is why everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. People are believing, but realistically, because we know you're such a respected journalist, how far do you think this team can go? Tell me what your head says and what your heart says.
Look, what I'll say is I think based on what we've seen, right, the ceiling, we all have to believe whatever ceiling we had for this team before Paraguay was elevated, right? I mean, I still need to see these guys beat a top club from Europe, from South America, with all due respect to Paraguay and Australia, right? I mean, the four friendlies this year, they beat Senegal, but they lost to Germany. They lost to Belgium. They lost to Portugal. I know it's a different lineup. So many things are different. They've got momentum. They're playing this tournament at home. If people thought, look, getting to the round of 16 would be acceptable, I think now anything short of the quarters would be disappointing. Then beyond that, let's face it, it would all be a dream.
It would be a dream indeed.
America, baby.
America, baby. Alice loving it.